I've heard that you can go to a Phish show and they'll start a song and you can go home, take a nap, make a sandwich, put a souffle in, do a load of laundry, walk your dog, come back, and they'll still be playing the same song.
We have a proposal for a new special event in Town Park, August 9th and 10th, which is directly after the Jazz Festival. It's a Monday and Tuesday evening after jazz.
As it stands, the group, the AEG, Planet Bluegrass, and the Telluride Jazz Festival have been able to come to terms with how we see these pieces kind of fitting together.
I suspect that we'll probably have two different crews of people who will have to work full shifts from probably midnight until the show, because there'll be so much work required.
If you understand the nature of the Jazz Festival, we've been traditionally capped at 3,000 tickets. And it's been one of the reasons that it was one of my favorite festivals, one of the reasons that I've continued to be involved with it and support it, was that it was low impact. It didn't require barricades because there were not huge numbers, and yet there was an economic impact to town that was positive, and people had a good time, and it was a pretty relaxed atmosphere. Obviously, we're looking at a situation that may substantially alter that dynamic with the situation that we've got before us this year. But one of the things that occurred to us was that it might make some sense for Sunday ticket sales, if there is demand, to be increased to like 4,500 people for that day.
There's no parking plan that I've seen, and that Mountain Village will not be as easy as it has been in the past, according to Mayor Delves.
There's a parking plan that's adequate for what might have been a traditional 9,000 person event, which is basically what happens for blues. However, I think depending on how the tickets sell, that I think we all kind of anticipate a bigger need outside of town boundaries for parking and camping and infrastructure than currently happens for blues.
I would strongly urge that we have a barricade and that we make provisions wherever we do it for parking and shuttle buses and plenty of porta potties.
In our perspective to you guys, I think we said we would not like to see a barricade, at least prior to, like, say, 5 o'clock on Sunday, which should be pretty reasonable. Anytime before that, and jazz hasn't been sold out, we're basically, and along with negative advertising too. We want to go through anything we possibly can not to discourage the jazz audience to come.
There was a possibility that maybe 3,000 to 5,000 people might accompany the group who had no tickets.
I've worked with Janice and Kodo, helping them do the doodahs for many years. You know, we feel a tremendous amount of responsibility coming out of Denver. I know Craig does as well for Telluride. If we felt that this band was too big and would bring too many people to your community, it's just not worth doing.
Kodo does endorse this show, and I really believe, I have done many shows with Don in the past, and I think they're definitely capable of dealing with what's going on in the park as far as the people coming into town. I think Craig's got a pretty good handle on that. I really do believe the town has the wherewithal to make this happen.
I did Phish last summer for 4 nights at Red Rocks, and it was considered the pinnacle show of the summer. It was the one. Kind of like how I think Telluride's being perceived. We had maybe 300, 400 kids outside looking for tickets. And they really were the ones who were just kind of, I don't want to pay for one, maybe I'll get a free one, you know, that kind of stuff. We were very, very concerned, as you know, of having too many, being in Denver and everything. We really had, it was unbelievably smooth, not having a lot of extra people. No way are there going to be 3,000 people without tickets in this town. No way.
The Phish audience is I think at this point, in some respects, a more mature audience, and one would hope that they would treat our town as they would expect us to treat their town.
The primary demographic I'm seeing at these shows is a lot of 30-somethings who are professionals now. They're bringing their money to the communities that they're visiting. They're spending it in the towns, in the hotels. They're a great audience, and they're very respectful of the venues they're coming to, and it's a much smaller contingent of people showing up without tickets.
I haven't heard anybody up here at this point say, no, I don't want it. What we're trying to do is figure out how do you just drop a 9,000 person concert into an already, in some people's eyes, overcrowded summer?
Move to approve the resolution exempting Telluride Bluegrass Inc. and AG Live from the notification requirements of Telluride Municipal Code, Section 11-420, advance notice of impacts, 4 concerts in Town Park, August 9th and 10th, 2010.
The motion was made by Mr. Warner, seconded by Mr. Carnevale. A number of amendments were made to that motion. One is that there will be the standard $2.50 admission fee applicable to this festival, with an additional payment of $15,000, up to $15,000 total, for additional security and law enforcement purposes if needed by the relevant jurisdictions. There will be a barricade that will be erected if deemed appropriate by staff, to be erected no earlier than Sunday at 5 p.m., along with a component informational booth that will run concurrent with jazz. There will be a local ticket option where those tickets will be sold as a single day and not a 2-day pass. A minimum number of those tickets had not been agreed to, and you may want to specify that. And then the last thought I mentioned would be, the last thought I have on this that I thought I'd mention would be the legal agreement with jazz.
Brian, yes?
Tom, yes.
Ann, yes.
Chris, yes.
David, yes.
Stu, yes.
Bob, yes.
Thank you very much.
This is Stu, a member of a local jam band, Joint Point.
Local jam band.
So you're a fan of Trey, right?
Huge fan, yeah.
What's the big deal about Phish?
You know, they just bring a ton of energy to the show, and every show is going to be different. Lots of improvisational jams.
How good are they as far as musicianship?
The best.
Are they really?
They're real good. The caliber of musicianship is unbelievable.
So do you think this will be a good thing for the town?
I think there's going to be tons of revenue here, and I think I think the crowd has definitely grown up a little bit. So I think we'll see a really respectful crowd as well.
Yeah, you know, I was at a Phish show almost 20 years ago, and they were a dirty, dirty, dirty bunch.
Yeah, there were some wooks.
So now they've wooks as in Wookiees.
Some Wookiees.
So they've cleaned up their act a little bit. They've got jobs. They've got credit cards.
Yeah,
we want them to come
jobs,
to town.
credit cards, lines of credit. You know, it's all good things.
Tell me something else about a Phish show. What can one expect at a Phish show, and what do you think it'll be like in Town Park?
I think, just the setting alone in Town Park is going to be unbelievable. The energy is going to be great. No shortage of glow sticks, I'm sure.
So it's that kind of a deal?
It's going to be that kind of a deal.
A lot of...
it's going to be a party.
It's going to be a party. All right, well, thanks, Stu.
Oh, thank you.
I was about to call you Trey.
I think it's awesome that the town landed a big show that hopefully they can make some money on.
Are you going to be down in front with glow sticks?
No, I am not.
What are you going to do when Phish comes to town?
It depends, but I might leave. I mean, I've left every year for Bluegrass. I've just gotten as far away as possible. And if I can possibly leave, I mean, I don't want to be here when there's that many people. I mean, I moved here to get away from that, and I mean, I'm really excited because Iron Maiden is touring for the first time in 10 years.
Well, why can't we have Iron Maiden in Town Park?
That's the other thing I was going to bring up. It's like, I know that if I tried to approach a town with a high-level metal show that I could probably sell 5,000 tickets to, it would never go through.
Why not?
Discrimination. I just really don't believe it would go through.
It's discrimination.
I don't believe the town elders would allow 5,000 metalheads in this town, but they will allow 10,000 dirty hippies.
All right. Well, there we've heard it from Gary, the angry acupuncturist. Also drives the Galloping Goose on Phish. That's it. Point counterpoint. Counterpoint well taken, sir.